Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, it's been a tough week for me, and I don't know, it's probably been a tough week for some of you guys too. A lot of you guys have lost people. The holidays can be tough. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I was feeling a lot of anxiety before the last couple of days, before this last 3 or 4 days. And then let me talk about the news cycle and what's happened in the last couple of days. For the last week, I lost my best friend, my girlfriend, like I've talked about many times on here, Audrey. She moved to Jacksonville in July of 2021. We were texting all the way down there. Within a day of getting there, it seems she contracted the Delta variant, and she was gone in 6 weeks. That's why I am not a big fan of Ron DeSantis. But anyway, that aside. So Thanksgiving and Christmas last year, they were tough, but this year is so much tougher. I don't know why. I assumed that it would get easier as time went on, and I know that a lot of you must have lost a lot of people too, but this year is even harder for me, especially with Black Friday coming up. Even when we were dating, she was my first girlfriend, and we were dating. We lived together for 3 years, and even when we weren't dating, she was moving to Florida. We would go out on Black Friday and go shopping, and it was a big deal for us every year. And with it coming up, every time I see an advertisement for Black Friday or sales or whatever, I just get this, I've had a constant tight chest, like anxiety in the last week. Then, last couple days, the news cycle. I'll be honest with you guys, I've done a couple videos, talking about how Trump is passé, how he's got nothing left to contribute. And I believe that 100%. But I'll be honest with you guys, as soon as I saw that Elon Musk was reinstating, this whole poll and this whole Vox Pupi, Vox D, ridiculous, pompous Latin from Elon Musk, man, my chest tightened up even more. Twitter is just, it's debatable. Trump says he's not going back on Twitter, but then again, Trump lies about everything, so that means absolutely nothing. I guess he stands to lose a considerable amount of money, contractual obligations to his investors on Truth Social if he tweets. But I guarantee, the man has absolutely zero impulse control. So, it's just a matter of time before he goes on Twitter. Probably by the end of the week, I'd imagine. And when I first saw that Elon Musk, this whole poll and Elon Musk, I got to ask you guys too. I don't want to veer off too much, but two of the most megalomaniac, arrogant, narcissistic billionaires on the planet. And conservatives worship them. And yet they call the Democrats the elitists. What's up with that? All right, okay. So I've had this feeling of anxiety already before this whole Elon Musk Trump thing. Now I want to talk about what happened in Colorado Springs, because I did a little research. There's nothing on the news yet. This information I'm about to tell you, I simply got from a search of Facebook and the person's name, Anderson Lee Aldrich. You could find it yourself because it's going to pop up and there'll be a bunch of stories. Don't Google, go to Facebook and do a search on Facebook, and you'll find this. Then you'll find the interesting information. So not too much has come out. He's a 22-year-old. Supposedly he's a big hulking guy, 6'6", 250 pounds. He seems kind of like I don't know the guy, but he seems like an outcast kind of guy, the usual kind of thing. But I found some interesting stuff on Facebook. Like I said, and you could find this out here too. Guess what kind of background he's got. Guess what kind of background his family has. I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. Right-wing MAGA. Yeah. And it gets much, much worse. Okay, Anderson Lee Aldrich. He's the suspect. Apparently, 2 of the patrons from Club Q actually subdued and beat Anderson with his own weapon. I freaking love that. All right, so anyway, turns out Anderson Lee Aldrich, his grandfather, is the outgoing Republican state assemblyman, a hardcore MAGA enthusiast. I'm going to put a picture of this dim bulb on my thumbnail. Man, he is just he's a piece of work. This is the grandfather of the suspect from Colorado Springs, wearing his MAGA hat, his red, white, and blue eagle tie with his big dopey thumbs up. This is his grandfather. Wait, it gets better. It turns out this guy, they were trying to remove him as a state assemblyman because January 6th. He compares it to the Revolutionary War. He compares it, this is Concord and Lexington all over again. The first shots fired. And he starts talking about tyranny. Yeah, so they wanted to throw him out as assemblyman. This is in the 71st District in California, San Diego, okay? And wait, it gets even worse than this. So he's an outgoing, hardcore MAGA enthusiast, the suspect's grandfather. The suspect's mother, whom he held as a, I'll use the word captive, in 2021, with a bunch of instruments of destruction, his mother. And he was facing 5 felonies for this. And they all got dropped mysteriously in El Paso. You guys could find all this information, which this enabled him, it could be, and by coincidence, of course, his grandfather is a big MAGA assemblyman. And the 5 felonies he was facing all got dropped, which enabled him to purchase what he used at Club Q. Wait, it gets even worse. His mother, Laura Vopel. So his grandfather is Randy Vopel, Republican state assemblyman. His mother, Laura Vopel, whom he held captive in the summer of 2021. She's got a bunch of sites on Facebook with gun sites, weapons sites. She's another MAGA enthusiast. She's very proud of the fact that her father is MAGA state assemblyman. And this is his family. What it means, I don't know. Like I said, I just looked all this information up this morning. It wasn't just one bit of information. It was about a dozen different sites that had this information that I just related to you. So big surprise. There's no room for this in the country. There's no room for this kind of hate. I don't know what else to say about this right now. Look it up yourself. See what you could find on Facebook. You guys have a good Monday.